Hi Aries, welcome to your April 2018 reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining me. So, without further ado, I'm just going to go straight in. If you haven't already, check out your Mercury retrograde in your sign, or the sign of Aries. I think it will answer a lot of questions as to what the fuck is going on over the next few weeks, up until the 15th of this month. So I would like to bless both of these decks that I'm about to use with all forms of love, like peace, prosperity and abundance, and I hope that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good, as always. So let's see what your actions and interactions with the world at large have in store. And you know, your actions and your interactions for Aries is quite, it's quite an important thing, because you guys are very dynamic. You know, as a sign, you're all about energy, you're all about action, you're all about what you do, how you do it, and you know, the way that it's received in the world. So let's see what you have. You've got the Seven of Wands. Now the Seven of Wands tells me that this month you're going to be very much defending your own viewpoint, very much coming from a place of this is who I am, this is what my thoughts, feelings, beliefs, you know, all of my, you know, everything about yourself you are going to be defending. Why do I say that? The Sevens in numerology and in tarot are about introspection, but they're also about endurance, and endurance represents, you know, to endure something means you have to go through it. It means it suggests a battle of sorts. Well, who better than Aries or the soldier to, you know, to go through the battle? And more importantly, it's about defending your viewpoint. It's about making a stand and saying no, because you know the saying goes, if you don't stand for something, then you will fall for anything. And that is the truth of it. You know, it's like the other cliche when they say, you know, if you haven't made a couple of enemies across your life path or in your work or whatever, then you haven't really been true to who you are. And that is the truth of life. You know, you are going to clash with and conflict with people, with situations and whatnot, and you grow by that adversity. The thing with the Seven of Wands is, I usually say, is that you've actually got the moral high ground on this one. Stand by your viewpoint, stand by your morals, stand by whatever it is that you are having to defend, whatever it is that comes under fire. Stand by it, stand behind it, because this is effectively you defending yourself and defending your viewpoint and saying, this is where I draw the line in the sand, and this is where I will refuse to compromise. We all have to compromise in some way, shape or form, but there does come a point where something encroaches on who we are as a person, and that's when you have to say, look, you know what, actually no, fuck that, enough is enough, this is where I'm taking a stand. So this month, you know, and certainly with the Mercury retrograde, there'll be a lot of scope for that. But yeah, what a way to start out. It puts you in a position of strength, I say, because it means that you're fighting for what you believe in, and that can never ever be a bad thing. Yeah, so your money and your materials. Let's see what your money has in store for you. Your money and your materials. Ooh, 3 cards have popped straight out, but there was one in particular that stood out for me. Where is she? Now, you're quite lucky in this respect, because you get the Queen of Pentacles. Now, who is the Queen of Pentacles as a person? As a person, the Queen of Pentacles is an earth sign female. This could be a Taurus, a Capricorn or a Virgo. This is somebody that is very smart when it comes to money, budgeting, financing. This is somebody that knows how to do the day-to-day stuff, somebody that's practical, grounded, hardworking, steadily relentless in their pursuit of their goals. And you can learn something from this person, especially in your money and your materials sector. If you find yourself being given advice by a female who has an earthy feel about her, pay attention, because she's going to deliver you a message that is going to help you really start to solidify and cement what it means for you to be abundant this month. It also tells me that you personally are looking at budgeting. You're thinking about, right, how can I get the most from my money? How can I get the best out of what I'm, you know, out of what I'm purchasing? So it's not just about making your money go further. It's also about making the things that you purchase you know, getting the absolute best, you know, getting your money's worth effectively is what the Queen of Pentacles is all about when she talks about money. And it also talks about money and abundance finding you in some way, shape or form. So if you've been experiencing not necessarily a lack, but a slowdown of your income, this will be the month where you start to think about how you can generate more and get more out of what you have. In terms of your home, you know, in terms of your home and your physical health and stuff, this is a really good card because it's a card of abundance, but it's also a card of nourishment. The Queen of Pentacles is a very nourishing card. It's a card of deep nourishment, and it kind of says to me that this month you're going to be thinking about ways that you can get the best and brightest out of everything that you have and that you own. When you couple these together, so your actions are those of defending yourself. If somebody gives you, especially a female that happens to have an earthy sort of nature, if somebody gives you advice on where maybe you could temper your actions and where maybe you could curb, or you know, curb your spending or make savings for your own benefit, pay attention to her, because she's going to be delivering you a message, especially under the Mercury retrograde. You know, really take time to pay attention to what it is that she's actually said to you. So in your communications, so this is all of your communications, you know, what you say, how you say it, who says what to you, text messages, phone calls, emails, the works. Oh, beautiful. You've got the Knight of Cups, a declaration of love or an opportunity that comes out of the blue. Now, the Knight of Cups is a beautiful card because it represents somebody coming to you and saying, you know, if you want to take it directly and, you know, and literally, this is, you know, the cups is emotions. This is somebody coming to you and saying, look, I really actually fancy you, or I really like you, or I like your vibe, or, you know, I want to get to know you better. I want to know about you. I want to know who you are. I want to know what you have to offer. This is a really, really great thing. Now, underneath the Mercury retrograde, interestingly enough, that's happening in your sign, and then you've got the Queen of Pentacles here. This kind of feels like an opportunity that's coming back at you. It could be one of a financial nature, but it's more likely to be something that I kind of feel like it's more artistic in nature. And when I say artistic, it doesn't necessarily have to mean painting or, you know, interpretive dance. And, you know, it was funny because I was talking about this in my astrology class a couple of weeks ago. And when you say creative to people, that's what they imagine, like drama and dance. And it is all of those things. But creativity is more than that. Sometimes it's just about your approach. The approach that you take to something can be creative. And sometimes it comes from an emotional place. It comes from a heartfelt place. Your communications this month are going to be very passionate. Your communications this month are probably going to put you on the path of going over old ground with people that you've met, with people that you've spoken to, with people that you've been with. It could be that deep, you know, because you've got the Knight of Cups, and underneath a retrograde, this is about going over something. So your communications this month, you get the chance to redo an opportunity. And when you are given that shot, what you do with it is up to you. If you feel like you've missed this opportunity, especially in terms of, you know, a financial one or a materialistic one, you know, the opportunity to travel somewhere that you've wanted to go, or the opportunity to kick back and say, actually, you know what, I've done a lot of the hard work and now I'm just going to enjoy some of the rewards of that. This could very well be somebody telling you to take it a little more easy rather than just being all full on. And a Mercury retrograde is a really good time to do that. Okay, so in your heart and your hearth. Okay, in your heart and your hearth, you have the Six of Swords. So going back to what I was saying about a journey, you are definitely going somewhere this month. Now, under a Mercury retrograde, people usually say don't travel, and if you do, you know, read the fine print, your heart and your hearth. So this is about your emotions. This is about you taking a very heartfelt journey, one down memory lane, Aries. This is you treading back over old ground and really getting a sense of, wow, okay. And I'm going to be really honest here. You know me, guys, I don't bullshit you. I just kind of tell you how it is and what I think and what I feel and what the cards come through, you know, what they give me. I kind of feel like you are going to be, even if it's only ever internally, you are going to be acknowledging some of your own shortfalls this month. And the trick here for true transformation is not to get caught up in your feelings. It's not to get caught up in the, oh, well, then I guess I'm a bad person or I'm a monster. Fuck all of that. You know, put all of that aside. It's not about that. That's not why you're going back over this stuff. You are looking back and noticing what your personal shortfalls or shortcomings were so that you can learn from them, build on them, and therefore capitalize on them. This is about how you've treated others, but it's more importantly about how you've treated yourself. It's about really sort of starting to understand that life is actually mirroring everything around you. Now, the really exciting and interesting part here is you've got wands in fire, you've got earth pentacles in there. The only two that you have kind of opposite are you've got the cups in the communications, which would actually be air, and you've got the swords, which would be the air, in the water space, which is the heart and the half. You've got all four elements here, guys. This is a month where you can really make some big strides in, and you know, even if you don't necessarily see the big changes happen on the outside plane, there is a real chance for some deep inner transformational work to happen this month. What it's going to require is your honesty with yourself and saying to yourself, what are my shortcomings? What have they been? And how can I learn from them? And more importantly now, how can I move forward? How can I treat other people better by treating myself better and by understanding what I have done in the past that might not have been so kind or whatever? If you want to go back and right wrongs and, you know, make apologies and stuff, the door and the opportunity will be there for you. Absolutely, I really feel that. However, that's not the important part. The truth of the matter is, if you can acknowledge this stuff within self and really just say, okay, you know what, that probably wasn't my finest moment, and I will own that. If you do that on an internal level, in here and in here, you know, in co-creation and collaboration with the universe, that will ripple out into your life and it will create so much powerful transformation within your life. It's unbelievable. For those of you that are coupled, this is you moving towards brighter and happy times, you know, like a bridge over troubled water. That's what this card, you know, that's one of the big taglines for this card. It's about moving away from the difficult times. For those of you that are single, this is you having that chance. If you know, if there's somebody in your past that you think, you know, maybe we never had everything, maybe we never had the right shot. Even if you only go down that memory lane just to realise that actually you never had the shot for the right reason, or, you know, vice versa, then that's what it will be. But there is something in your past that you can learn from, and there is something that you need to acknowledge that may not have been your finest moment. Relationships with women in general, you know, whatever sex you are, happens to look really good and really promising. And you know, your actions and your emotions seem to be complementary, actually, because you've got the swords, which is the air feeds fire, you know, and you've got the wands there. This is you standing in your power and owning everything. You've got all four elements. That's a really, really strong position to be in. You've got the earth, you've got the fire, you've got the water, you've got the air. The fire will give you the action and the passion and the drive and the power to succeed. The pentacles will give you the steady relentlessness that you need to succeed in your goals. The water, the cups, are going to give you the emotional energy and the correct emotional energy to put into it. The swords are going to give you the intellect, the strength of mind and the understanding and the smarts, quite frankly, to succeed and achieve your goals. Finally, your key to the month of April, Aries, is The Death card, transformation. You know, I talked about this and I talked about it and I talked about it. Now, the interesting thing is, you know, in some respects, because of your, you know, ruling planet, this is actually, you know, you used to share a lot in common with Scorpio. You know, because you used to have actually both have the same ruling planet, and the Death card represents the sign of Scorpio. It's about depth. It's about the taboo of life. It's about inheritance. It's about tax. It's about everything that is deep and intense and considered taboo. But death itself as an experience isn't just about physical death. It's about renewal. It's about clearing the deck so that you can have something brighter, brand new, something abundant. You know, the Death card comes, it's like winter. It clears everything away so that when spring comes, everything has got space and time and air enough to breathe and to flourish and become everything that it can. This is going to be a very deeply introspective and transformative month for you, Aries. And if you let it, you will really, really be able to make strides on the internal planes. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. I hope you have an amazing month. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. As always, I will get back to you as many of you as possible. You know I love you. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you again very soon.